Welcome to WNIN Newsmakers. I'm April Nading. To learn more about food insecurity challenges in our area, we have Deputy Mayor of Evansville, Lindsay Snyder, and Director of the Tri-State Food Bank, Heronemus. Both are part of the Evansville Commission on Food Insecurity. Hello, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, April.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about what is the Evansville Commission on Food Insecurity and what are its goals?
Well, I can start. The commission was started with Lloyd Winnicke's administration during the COVID pandemic. So he brought together groups of people from the community, different stakeholders, to make sure and to help those that were facing food insecurity during the pandemic. And that's continued since, and still working on filling those gaps when needed.
Why did you all feel like it's important to continue it? I mean, obviously, if that was the first time, was during COVID, why did it need to continue?
Because the need continues.
It continues to grow.
Right.
Right. Okay. So tell me about, can you describe how the Tri-State Food Bank helps with food insecurity?
Yeah, as a member of the Food Commission and one of the lead hunger relief agencies, we have a network of pantries here, 23 in the city of Evansville alone. We have 9 soup kitchens that we help, provide food product as part of the hunger relief efforts that we're doing here in the community. And I'd like to say also as part of the Food Commission, the strategy and the efforts that are made as far as recommendations to the administration and bringing together multiple agencies to have that collective impact is quite important as well too.
Well, I know you mentioned how the need continues. What has been the recent trend with food insecurity in our area? I mean, is it getting better or worse over the years?
Well, I would think with just rising utility costs, rising cost of everything, families continue to be strapped and to need help, and the commission wants to be sure that we're doing what we can within our power to help the families in our community.
Yeah. Well, I think I've seen interviews with people saying they're having to choose about what to buy.
Yeah, it's a difficult challenge right now. What we see here locally in Evansville alone, about 16.2% of all individuals are identified as food insecure. Nearly 20% of those are children as well. When you look at especially what we've seen in the data from our partner agencies since about May, when the tariffs really started kicking in, grocery prices are really elevated, and people are feeling it left and right. We've seen about a 20% increase in our network partners on what the demand is for the hunger relief programs. And we don't see really an end in sight. And obviously the challenges with the shutdown, especially SNAP benefits not being there. Food Commission is really in the response mode right now with all of its partners, making sure that we're addressing this challenge today.
When you brought up the SNAP benefits, I know like right now while we're filming this, there have been some lapses in funding for SNAP. I mean, how has this affected things locally?
Oh man, it's been tremendous. When you look at, we have about 9,500 households here in the city of Evansville alone that rely on that particular benefit. 40% of those are children, 20% of those are seniors on fixed income, and many of them are working families. For that benefit to not be there, especially at a time where utility costs are high, grocery costs are high, it's almost an impossible challenge that we've been tasked with. But I will say that the response from Tri-State Food Bank, Feed Evansville, all of our partners in the Food Commission is really rising up to meet that challenge. And we have a lot of thanks to give to many folks in the community for helping support the efforts that are going on today.
Now you mentioned that I can't remember what percentage you said now, 16% I think that are identified as having food insecurity. How do you define that? How is someone, not labeled, but how do you define what is when someone is?
The way that we do it is we leverage the Map the Meal Gap data that Feeding America, our parent organization, so to speak, leverages. It's a formula with aggregate data that really shows what the true costs are in each community and how that plays out on their grocery budget every year or every month.
What are some of the largest obstacles in reducing food insecurity locally, do you think?
Man, that's almost a loaded question.
Well, isn't it our community for 1 month will be losing $3.7 million in SNAP benefits?
Absolutely.
So that's to put a number to how much our community would be getting that so far for November has not.
Mm-hmm. And when you look at kind of the data here in our particular community, I mean, livable wages is a struggle. We've got nearly 1 in 2 households that are deemed ALICE households, meaning asset limited, income constrained, but employed, on down into poverty. We're hovering about 23% poverty here in the city of Evansville alone. So when we think about what are the things that can elevate folks out, SNAP is a huge way to reduce poverty, address food insecurity, but reality is livable wages is something that we have to work towards as a community if we really want to get upstream with respect to meeting that need much greater with impact instead of just meeting the need with food to help fill their cupboards.
Well, obviously, this has put more demand on you, your organization. Do you have to turn people away? How have you been able to respond to this increase?
Yeah, so I mean, the goal is not to turn folks away, but the reality is inventory is what inventory is. And right now what we're seeing is a challenge in a couple different ways. One, while we've got a large warehouse, we have much of it filled up with our USDA commodities programs. What's helping put food in the cupboards and on the shelves of our pantries, our soup kitchens, our hunger relief programs, whether it's for kids or seniors. What we're seeing now in this particular response is lag time in what we're purchasing and it actually getting here for us to turn around and redistribute through our network. And so just challenges galore with everything that's going on with these SNAP benefits not in place, right? When folks would normally be going to grocery stores to get what they need for themselves, their children, their parents. You know, us, Tri-State Food Bank, Feed Evansville, Food Commission, all of the partners in hunger relief here in our city are working overtime, honestly, to meet this challenge.
What can people in the community do to help out during this time?
I feel like there's a lot of options for volunteering, for one. You know, Young and Established, I know Courtney's going to be talking with you today. They do something once a week where he's there, and last week our office went, there were over 100 people there able to get food, but he had volunteers helping him. And I'm sure Salvation Army every year, you know, there are so many ways to volunteer, especially during the holidays. So I think there are plenty of ways, so if people are watching, just look out there. People need help with volunteers, and it's a good time to sign up.
And maybe in making donations, I would assume, food donations,
Well, I think, you know, right now, both food and cash is good. Tri-State Food Bank and Feed Evansville have set up what is a SNAP response fund dedicated to this challenge that we have. So every bit of dollars that are coming in are turned around and purchasing food to help stock up our pantries or do mobile distributions. So we've done a couple last week. Feed Evansville has got a grocery that they're doing. They had their first one over the weekend on Saturday. Completely went through many thousands of dollars worth of food until all of the shelves.
CK Newsom Center, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they'll continue to do that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and you know, we're both, you know, us and all of our partners in the Food Commission are scheduling up mobile distributions and really trying to elevate, you know, the work that we're doing on a day-to-day basis.
Well, where can people get more information about the commission and Tri-State Food Bank?
City of Evansville website, you can find more information on the Food Commission.
Yeah, and tristatefoodbank.org. If you go on there, you can find out when our mobile distributions are coming on. If you want to help support the SNAP Response Fund, there's a link on there as well too. Again, I want to reiterate that every dollar that's coming in is turned around and purchasing food to go on out. There's no overhead, you know, attached to that with this particular response fund. And you know, we've been also beneficial to, you know, see some additional dollars committed from the city of Evansville that we're going to be leveraging not just now, but throughout the holiday season, because what our families, our neighbors are missing right now without having these SNAP benefits loaded, and frankly, we don't know when they're going to be loaded, is missing meals, right? And so we're going to be in not just response mode now, but we're going to be playing catch up as a system, as a community throughout the entire holiday season.
Right. All right. Well, thank you for the information.
Yeah.